In a recent video shared by BBC News, the Nigerian Islamic leader and preacher Sheikh Abubakar Gumi was interviewed on the spate of different terror going on in Nigeria. The preacher blamed many crises going in the country on the Nigerian youth. He said they are the one that is not ready to embrace peace, so they must be blamed. He said if any right-thinking man can go out to different states in Nigeria, one will see myriad numbers of Igbo and Yoruba people living in the north, and they are not ready to return to their states. According to him, as he just left Sokoto some days ago and he met with many Igbo and Yoruba elders who are not ready or even praying that Nigeria should break up. He said the youth are the problems. In his speech, one would know that the preacher is a peacemaker even though he is an Islamic preacher. He never preaches religion, he is after the unity of Nigeria. In the past, the Sheikh had contributed immensely to Nigeria unity. He was seen in the various videos talking to youth, especially bandits and kidnappers, and they are giving up their crimes by submitting their ammunitions. Consequently, the preacher stood his ground that the needs of the Nigerian youth are to keep enunciating unity because the Nigerian elders, both the Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausas, are still ready to make Nigeria a unified nation. Hence, the youth should have a similar faith. Honestly, this man does not know what he's talking about, because the people, we have Nigerians all over the world. We have Nigerians all over the world. So for some people, they might say, they don't want to come back to Nigeria. Some people, wherever they have, they just find so peaceful, they want to stay there. So it is not it's a different ball game entirely when you are talking about the youth are the problems. You ask yourself, the elders or the leaders are the problem. They created problems. So have you ever asked the youth what they really want or what is making them to agitate that, oh, these elders, they have failed us? Because if you have parents who cannot fend for you, who could not even train you, who could not even bring you to a stage where you can just be independent, and you expect the child to be useful to you at your old age, you didn't train your children, you didn't give them what they need for them to grow, they will hate you. Like they always say that a blood is thicker than water. When a child knows that he has or she has a irresponsible parent, the child, no matter what, the child will hate the parent. That is just the way it is. The child will want to go. Since you guys are not responsible for you to, because you brought me into this world. I'm just giving a kind of scenario. You brought me into this world and you cannot take care of me. And you are telling me that I should do what? I should cooperate with you when you have failed in your responsibilities. The question this man needs to ask, I don't know the kind of maybe their own life, your own lifestyle in the whole country of the world. The way Nigeria is that the way it ought to be? Is that the way it ought to be? You are blaming the youth now. See, you guys, you call yourself elders, you call yourself leaders, you've been around for a very long time, but see the kind of youth that you have produced. See the kind of youth you have produced. The ones that you are going to meet, talking about them surrendering their weapons and doing the right thing, not to go into crimes. I thought you asked them. They said the government has failed them. A parent that has failed the children, and you expect that child not to fend for himself, whether good or bad. You think the way this country, the way the Nigeria is, the way the Nigerian youth are, the way the country is, you think, children, once they see other children and they see their parents the way they are doing, they will be comparing. You think the youth in this country, they don't know what is obtainable outside the world, and we see this, our so-called leaders, the so-called whatever they call themselves, they go outside the country, they see how things are done over there, but for them to replicate it in our country is a problem. And you expect the youth to be happy. No, the way this country is being run, the way this country has been right from onset, even before this government came on board, because all of the people who have ruled before, who have led before, they have messed up this country. And to make matter worse, this present government just came and just scattered everything. All of them. All of them, not only this present government. And this present government, they were still part of the government of the old before they came on board again. People thought, oh, they had experience, this and that. They are going to use their expertise and the experience to make things work. But at the end of the day, they mess it up. See the way they are running this country, and you are telling you are now blaming the youth that they want. Why wouldn't they talk about the breakup of this country? Is this how a country is supposed to be run? If you think that the way you guys have manipulated your own youth, they don't know what that is what they want, because you have to respect their own opinion. If that is how they want it, good and fine. Don't use your reggae to spoil other people blues. People they dance blues, they bring your reggae. If that is what they want in your own region, good and fine. And whatever you guys see, may not carry. So don't use your this thing. So things will be okay. I think I listened to this man when he was talking about how he criticized Goodluck Jonathan, and it would be unfair of him not to criticize Buhari, because what is happening now, it is worse. So if you have said that in the past, and you expect the youth to continue to look, the youth have really watched what has been happening in this country, and it is the same story. Their grandfather, great grandfather, their grandfather, their fathers also, they have been complaining the same thing, and they said they are still doing the same thing, and you want their own children again to continue in this line. All this deceit, they will be telling you things will be okay, things will be fine. At the end of the day, things never, things are never the way they ought to be. Every day they are just deceiving people. The ones who are in the ruling class, and the few individuals that are enjoying the goodness of this country, very tiny proportion of set of people, and they will continue to lie to you. Don't worry, everything will be okay. Everything will be fine. Everything fine. Oh, by God's grace, by God's grace. No, 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 no. What are the things that you have put in place for God to be able to bless before you bring in God? Because if you have to bring in God, God would have told everybody, just sit down. Manna will be falling from heaven. Let manna be forming. Those are the things that they used to deceive the people. They will bring religion. When God himself knows that he has given you power to do something, once you are limited, then he knows that you are limited. When he gets to when he will come in, he will come in. We know that area, but a situation where you are doing bad things, then you have to be using God to cover. Hey, God will do it. God will do it. God will do it. The right thing, and some people are smiling to the banks, themselves and their children. And you are telling us that the youth are the problem of this country. The way the so-called elders have run this country, is that the way it ought to be? Who is going to stay in this kind of environment? Even if people have not even gone outside, or they've not even heard things happening. So does it mean if you're hungry, you need to go outside, or you need to go and learn how to eat? No, naturally, you will know that you need to feed yourself. You need to go to the kitchen or get food and satisfy yourself. Even in our own way of development, we need to put things in order. We don't need to go outside there to go and say, oh, what are they doing there? But not to talk of the so-called elders, the so-called leaders. They are not even comfortable with this country. With all the money that they've gotten, they still go outside the country to do what? To go and enjoy themselves. Have you asked yourself, why is it that we cannot get electricity? Nobody's even talking about all those things now. But irrelevant things, those are the things that we are concerned with. Talk about cows, talk about insecurity. Those are the things that we are concerned with. And this man is telling us, they don't want to live, because some of them, because I mean that is kind of life they want to live, and they have seen that it is not even an issue in the first place, bringing it because they don't want to live and whatever. Anybody can stay anywhere, but we are talking of a country. Then you want people to stay. What are you doing? You are not doing your own part. So guys, let's hear your opinion, because this man make I not change her for her now. Someone said that is very true. It is because our elders have not stood on the ground to stop all this in the past. That is why the government or the governor are taking them for a ride, and they are enjoying the suffering. That is what visas about, or is talking about. They can remain wherever they want after referendum. The 1914 treaty that amalgamated Nigeria into existence has expired. It is now legally feasible to reconstitute the country into the units. Some youth, not all youth, but it is wrong to request amnesty for those who had killed intentionally. Quran recommends death and punishment for murder. Why is your request out of context of the Holy Quran? Why would they not interested? Because they are not interested because they are the major beneficiary who eats and mortgage the future of the present youth through corruption, greediness, selfishness, and outright wickedness. The youth are simply tired with a government that supports the criminals because of ethnicity. That is how it should be. The elders know that they will soon depart. The youth are fighting for their future. Zeke is gone, but the youth today are the ones dying because of lack of foresight. Some youths of today are still short-sighted. Of course, that is it. So guys, let's say your opinion. Leave your comment below and let's know your thoughts on this.